Welcome to Consumer Connection, a podcast brought to you by the Montgomery County Office of Consumer Protection. I'm your host, Michelle Escobar. It's 2026, and the world of scams is changing faster than ever. From AI-generated voices to phishing schemes that look disturbingly real. Scammers are getting smarter and more aggressive. So what do you do to stay one step ahead? That's what we're going to be unpacking today. Joining me is someone who has been on the front lines of consumer protection for years now. She is a veteran consumer investigative reporter with NBC4 Washington. She has exposed countless scams, has held companies accountable, and has helped everyday people fight back. Welcome, Susan Hogan.
Thank you,
I'm so happy to have you here.
I am so happy to be here. I truly am. Yeah.
We've already fangirled over you downstairs. So thank you again so much. Yeah. As I was telling you, I just know we're going to have so much great information for people today.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
I'm really excited for them to hear everything that we're going to unpack. When I started, I am a home improvement investigator. So like I was saying, a lot of these things I'm learning. And the way scams are evolving is just incredible. When I started as a consumer, as an investigator, what really impacted me was unlicensed contractors targeting vulnerable people, especially seniors. And also, what was heartbreaking was to sometimes see families who were already struggling financially, and they would invest all their money into their homes and just to wind up scammed. And then they would have to wait for the complaint process to play out,
right?
Have to go to court. So these are things that drive me. But how did you get started in consumer protection, and what drives you?
How long do we have? You said this is like a 40-minute podcast. I will do this as briefly. I used to have like a great elevator pitch, but I've been in this industry for almost 35, even 36 years. So my elevator speech has gone really long. But I went to Syracuse University. I majored in consumer studies. I literally had no idea what my major was going to be. I literally picked that one and was like, it sounds like good. I mean, we're all consumers. I'll do that. Well, it ended up being the best decision of my life because my faculty advisor at Syracuse happened to have been very good friends with a consumer reporter in Boston for the ABC affiliate. Mm. And so she said, would you ever want to do a summer internship with her? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that sounds like fun. Well, literally the day I walked into this TV station in Boston, I was like, this is my vibe. This is what I want. And I've just learned from there. I self-taught myself how to become a consumer reporter. I never went into broadcasting. I didn't study communications. I studied consumer studies.
Well, it's your passion.
Right.
I can see the passion even when you talk about it.
Exactly. And I just loved it. And so over my 30 plus years, that's all I've been doing is working with our viewers / consumers and helping them get out of debt, helping them get out of situations like you talked about with contractors. And it's been just something that I've loved, and thankfully found TV stations that really enjoy it too.
And for me, I work within the system. So when I get a complaint, I use laws and regulations to resolve a complaint, but you get to expose and unmask the scammer right in the public side.
So fun to do. Yes.
So tell me about that. And how does it impact the community?
Yeah. So over the years, I've always would say it's when I would do interviews with folks that it's really sad that I have to exist, right? That they on their own can't solve issues because there's just not a lot of resources. There are resources out there, but they're not helpful. And they can't solve their problems. And unfortunately, it does take a TV station, a story to solve an issue. So that's why people are coming to us to say, listen, I've done this. I've gone to the AG. I filed my complaints, but I'm still not able to get my money back. And when we, call a bad contractor or a bad business or a dealership or whatever it may be, and we say, this is Susan Hogan calling from NBC4, we got a complaint about you. Well, no one wants the bad publicity. And so suddenly doors open, suddenly money returns, suddenly, the house gets fixed or whatever it may be gets done.
Yeah.
And, but again, it's a shame that it takes us to have to be that driving force to get them to do the right thing.
Identity theft used to be like, I feel like I would hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved so much. I don't hear it as much. It used to be, don't share your social security number, shred your mail, monitor your credit. So while I was preparing for this episode, I heard of synthetic identity theft, where scammers are taking fake information and real information and creating new identities. So in your experience, you do all these stories, but you also interview experts and just speak to so many victims. Did you ever think from the time that you started that we would be here now, where they're this advancing so much?
Such a great question, and I'm asked this a lot. And how I answer this is the following: the scam itself has not changed. The scammers' outcome, what they want, hasn't changed, right? But how they get there has completely evolved over the years.
Yeah.
And being in this industry for 30 plus years, it used to be, through paper, through your mail, through the old fashioned way, right?
Yeah.
But as things have evolved and technology has played a huge role in that, they've just taken these scams that have been around for years and years and years and have really just refined them and make them better. And with AI, we're really screwed. I mean, honestly, this has really enabled them to perfect their craft, synthetic ID theft, different ways that they're doing something that has really been around for years.
Yeah. When I was, my last episode, I was talking about how unlicensed contractors would come and just knock on the door.
Yeah.
And people, they'd be face to face with people, but now they're on the other side of marketplace and they don't even have to show their face. Yeah. So that's incredible. So as you are seeing these scams evolve and these different trends and the different ways that scammers are performing their scams, their art of scams.
Exactly.
What is it that you're seeing that's emerging, maybe that we have to watch out for in 2026?
I think obviously with AI here, you can either like it or hate it or be somewhere in between. I'm kind of in between, right? But when it comes to scams and AI, voice cloning scams, they're just getting better and better. So I did a social media post, maybe 3 months ago, and where I had my daughter call me. I had her do a little recording, right? Because we know it takes 3 seconds for a scammer to get our voice. So I had her call and, say, "Hey, Mom, I'm stuck on the side of the road. Some guy is here. He pulled over. I need to give him a credit card information. I don't have my credit card. What should I do?" And I'm like, before I give you my credit card information, what's our family code word? And so I had her go click, like we, made her hang up, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was proving the point that all it takes is for these scammers to get 3 seconds of your voice from whether it's your social media or your voicemail, whatever it may be, and craft it in the way. But if we don't protect ourselves from them, so having things like a family code word to ask these scammers when they do call you, it's when you're in that immediate moment, right? You get a phone call from someone and they're like, "Oh, it's me. I'm like, if they're traveling or, the grandparents scam." The grandparents scam has evolved to something really bad now, where it can be a grandparent or it can be your kid, and it sounds just like them. And when you're thinking, is this a scam? Is this a scam? But because you're caught up in that moment as a parent, you're going to want to help them. So by protecting ourselves with things like family code words, what if that could have switched over? Katie, what's our family code word? She could have said water bottle, which is our code word maybe. And then boom, okay, now I'm going to give you my credit card information. So I'm noticing that things like that are trending, that as long as, but we have to be on the offense, right? And not always like fighting our way through there. So I think as we get into, more deeper into 2026, we're going to start seeing more of this stuff infiltrating our social media accounts, our text messages, our phone calls as well.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about taking 3 seconds to get our voices.
Yeah, that's insane. So, and when we spoke to identity theft experts, there's technology out there where they can actually just take a quick recording of your voice. Remember a couple of years ago, people would say, don't say anything. If a scammer calls you, they want you to just say
That's
yes.
what it's reminding me of. Yes.
Or you've got the wrong number, or I'm not interested. It's things like that. But now they don't even need you on the phone. And so with this technology that's out there on the dark web, they can just grab it and use it against you.
Wow. And that's the thing with the digital age now, where it's just, the protections, it's scary. It's a little scary because you're always you got to be on the defense all the time. These scammers are using, even like influencing people with their ads. It looks legitimate. It looks like now, where I think even savvy tech people can't even fall for it, where these things look legitimate. There's ads. They're using algorithms. So it looks clean. Is there anything that you could help us with, giving us advice on the digital age right now?
Okay. Yes. So my mom, who's 89, tells me every day that Mark Cuban or Tucker Carlson or Taylor Swift wants to have found a cure for her neuropathy. I'm like, Mom, and she's on Facebook and she's on Instagram. First of all, no. They're not finding a cure for you, or they're not selling you this particular product. And so, and when we were able to download an app for a story, and we wanted to see how quickly I could make an AI clone of myself. And it took 15 seconds. Now, I watched it back. We did a little ditty on it on my social media, and I'm like, oh my God, it looks like me. It sounds like me. And we had my clone, or my AI fake me, do a little brief newscast. And, I knew it was fake, but to anyone else, if you were to watch this on social media without me telling you what you're watching, you're going to be like, what the heck is she trying to sell me?
Yeah.
Or tell us? And so, but there's a few things. It's not perfect right now. It really isn't perfect. And for anyone who's watching anything that's, if they see there's a Taylor Swift video going around social media right now, where she's talking about free concert tickets. Well, first of all, she's not even doing concerts. Problem number one. Number two, but if you're not knowing that and you're thinking you're watching Taylor Swift, there's a link, and then people are clicking on that link and buying concert tickets from her. Well, it's not. It's a scam. So, it's one of those things. Would Taylor Swift, would Mark Cuban, would any of these celebrities really be on social media trying to sell you a product, a drug, or whatever it may be? And the answer is absolutely no.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, go and Google that. Taylor Swift, free concert tickets, Instagram, and it's going to come up fake. So you've got to always double check and triple check and be smart about it. And when you're watching these videos too, on the AI generated videos, and there are a lot right now.
Yeah.
There are some that are funny. That, there was one about this little dancing parrot, and it caught me off guard, and I'm watching it, and I was about to share it to my kids saying, oh my God, this is so cute. And I'm like, wait a second. No. And then as you watch it, you can hear the audio. There's like this little rippling.
Yeah.
The video has a little bit of a ripple in it. So you just got to stop before you think, before you believe it.
Absolutely. I remember that I would show my son videos and he'd say, Mom, it's AI. Like, oh gosh. And I've really had to catch on to these things. I saw one this morning where it was like a little chicken in the living room, a balloon popped, and all these dogs just started making a mess. And the dog mom is like, freaking out. And I'm like, oh, this is so funny. And the same thing happened. I'm like, oh, it's AI. It's gotta be AI. Yes. And it just looks so real.
It does. And it's really sad because, if it's making you and me who live and this is all we do for our living, go, oh my God, that was funny. Or what? Imagine though, if you are more vulnerable, if you really are in need of whatever they're pitching,
Absolutely.
it's going to make you think. But that's why we do these podcasts. This is why we do what we do, is to whomever is listening, is to just take a beat.
Yes.
And really think to yourself, could this really be true? And look at the URLs. Never click on any link that comes through social media ever, period. Go to the main page. That's your best way to do it.
Exactly. And especially in these times where people are going through hard times.
Right.
And you've got the fake job advertisements. You've got these fake opportunities.
Yep.
And the scammers know what they're doing, in the sense where they'll give you a little bit of like, okay, this is, we came across a complaint where they had a job. The consumer had a job, or the job seeker had this job where she was, and it was with crypto.
Mm-hmm.
And she kept putting money in, and then she'd get a little bit back, but then she kept putting money in. And even reading through the complaint, I had no idea what this job really entails. And I don't think she did either, because even the way, when we would question her, with the way she wrote out her complaint, folks don't even know really what they're getting into. They just see that, okay, I'm getting a little bit of money here, but then they have to reinvest it. And then next thing you know, it's gone.
I'm so glad you brought that up. So we did about a year or so ago, we did a story. It was a pig butchering scam, which really, it's kind of an odd way of it's a scam. It's like a romance scam, basically, where the scammers fatten you up, and with love and romance or trust.
Yeah.
And then bam, once they get you fattened up with all of that trust, they're going to go and then scam you.
Yeah.
So we interviewed a gentleman who, Department of Labor employee, master's degree in business, smart man, okay, was on Facebook, got a Facebook request from someone he didn't know. However, he had a mutual friend. So he accepted the request and they started chatting. And this, for months, Michelle, like just about life.
They're very patient.
Really patient. And he was, it was just very benign conversation. And then, so what do you do for a living? Well, I do this, but I dabble in crypto on the side. And our guy was like, well, how's that going? And it's like, it's good. I'll show you my screen. And he shared with him a screen that looked like it was a real crypto website, showed how much he's making. He's like, and he didn't even push our guy to say, hey, do you want to? It was not even that. Made our guy go, well, maybe I'm interested. Yeah. Right? He was just so smart about this, the scammer.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, sure, if you want to, but start small. And so our guys are like, what's small? Like $1,000. Okay. And then he shared a screen and showing how much his money or the crypto was growing in his account. And he was sharing, everything looked amazing and looked legit. And he's watching his money grow. Well, now that you've done this, you should probably do more. Well, you should do more. But because he's, believes this guy and they've had this nice relationship, he's seeing the returns on, because he's seeing these websites that are screenshots that are being shared with him. He ended up doing that, but ended up, long story short, losing $250,000.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't until he got a knock on the door from the Fairfax County Adult Protective Services, who was alerted by their bank. His bank alerted them and knocked on the door. And he's like, what are you talking about? And so it was just really insane how quickly that relationship turned. But they're smart and they're so patient.
They are. And, I usually say high pressure.
Yes.
Like, stay away from the high pressure, but there's no high pressure here.
None. And I think, that's the other thing too, is if you think about it, human nature, we want love, we want to make money, and we want to be healthy. Yeah. If there's anything that's going to help us do that, it's going to be hard to not believe that we can. And we're looking for it quickly.
The psychological manipulation that is involved, there's definitely someone is training them in a sense that they're they're experts now at just picking that one soft spot that someone has and saying, okay, this is where I got them.
Yeah. And these aren't, it's not some dude in, a basement of his apartment. I mean, some cases probably, but these are massive operations, mostly overseas. A lot are people who've been trafficked themselves and are victims themselves who are part of this and who have to do this for survival. Yeah. We learned that from when we were doing the pig butchering scam with our FBI agent who was telling us about this.
Yeah.
So you have that double kind of like whammy, but at the end of the day, they're still part of it.
Yeah.
But they're trained and it's a manipulation and they're good at what they do. And, they know how to do it. And especially we overshare so much. And if all it takes is one little glance at my social media and you can know exactly a lot about me.
Exactly.
I bet I can know a lot about you and everyone in this room too. Yeah. It's really quick. Not only that, the other thing is what's out there available for public viewing, right? There's so many of these like Spokio white pages. Yes. You can go onto any of these data brokers and for free, you can type in your name, find out where you live, some of your relatives. For 95 cents, you could get a little bit more information. Yeah. You can get my background information. It's insane.
Yeah.
And for scammers, it's easy peasy.
Easy. So what do we do?
We have to be smart. We have to protect ourselves. I have always said, and I'm sure you've said this too, everyone who asks me, what should I do? I'm like, did you freeze your credit reports? Oh, no. I'm like, if you have not, for anyone watching this, I implore you, please, if you do one thing today, freeze all 3 of your credit reports, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. It's free. It will take a few minutes to do. But here, a couple of things. When you freeze your credit reports, what you're doing is you're preventing anyone, a scammer, from opening up an account in your name. Mm-hmm. So say that they were able to get your information and they go to apply for a loan, a credit card, whatever it may be. And they have, they put in your information. It's going to be blocked. All 3 of those credit bureaus have it frozen. There's a lot of ways that you have to now jump through hoops to unfreeze it. Mm-hmm. If it's a scammer, they're not going to be able to do it. So you will not have an account opened up in your name. So you're not going to have to then go back and try to figure it out. If they're frozen, they're frozen. If you need to apply for a loan or a credit card, you literally go back on your app and you can thaw it or unfreeze it, whatever terminology they use. Mm-hmm. And I've done this within like 2 minutes it's taken me when I had to do something with my son the other day for a car loan. And so I'm like, what? And here's the thing too. Say that you're at a car dealership and you're buying a car and you need to unfreeze. You ask the whomever you're talking to, what credit bureau do you use for checks? Mm-hmm. And then usually they'll tell you and then unfreeze it on that one only. You can unfreeze it for 24 hours. You can unfreeze it for 3 days, a week. And then you can set a little, I'm going to unfreeze it today and freeze it in 4 days. And then set it and forget it and you're done.
Susan, that is advice that we haven't had on the show. And that's excellent advice.
Oh, it's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's start there. Mm-hmm. And then it's doing what we're doing here too. It's talking to your relatives, talking to your friends. And, with those text message things that you and I both have gotten, we've all received the toll scams, you've got a new job. Like I get one constantly and they're hilarious. I did a post on how I'm sorry, but I have some bittersweet news. I'm leaving TV and I'm going to now work for Karen, who just offered me a job for $800 a day doing, market research, which was obviously fake. And it was a funny thing that I did because it's like when you look at it at face value, you're thinking, okay, am I really going to make $800 a day for working 5 minutes a day? No, of course not. But again, if you are desperate, you need your money and you think, well, maybe I'll just give it a shot. Maybe it's real. It's not. Don't ever click on those links. It will take you to a scam website. I've done it. I've shown what happens and it does not work, period.
So when let's say someone does click, what besides OCP, we have OCP, we have Susan Hogan. what are other resources that, you know, people can think of if they think they've been scammed or if they have been scammed? What can they do?
So good question. So I've clicked on the links because that's what I do. I want to see what happens, right?
Yeah.
So I got a text message from Amazon saying that there's an issue with my account and that I need to click on this link to fix it. Well, I clicked on the link. It takes me to what looks like my Amazon login page, but it's not, right? Obviously, I know it's not, but it would have gotten me to, if I wasn't smart and didn't know what to, I would have put in my name, put in my email, and put in my password. And then you press enter. The scammers just got your name, your email, and your password. Thanks so much. We're moving on. And then it's going to go nowhere, right? So the best, if you are scammed, I mean, the problem is, unfortunately, there's not a lot. I mean, your money is gone to these scammers. You know, you can report it, you can contact your bank, you can put on a fraud alert. But this is something else that my producer and I have learned too over the years, is that banks themselves, so say that you're a victim of, you got a Zelle payment, right? From someone that you do not know. Okay. And you suddenly get a little ding and you're like, Michelle just sent me $427. And then all of a sudden I get a text from Michelle and it says, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I sent it to the wrong person. Can you send me that $427 back? Well, we're good-natured people, right?
Yeah.
You're going to send it back.
Sure.
Well, Michelle was scamming me. Michelle got my information. It was stolen from the dark web somewhere. And when I send back that $427, and in 2 days, when my bank realizes that was fraudulent, guess who's on the hook for that money?
Yeah.
Me. And the banks are like, listen, we can't, if we refunded every single person who falls for a scam, we'd be out of business. So that's why you've got to stop and think.
Yeah.
So guess what you do with that $427? You keep it. That's what you have to do. You keep it and alert the payment app and say, listen, Michelle's telling me that she sent me this. I don't know who she is, just alerting you. They're going to say, thanks so much. Just leave it there. But honestly, never send it back. People are trying to get you in any way. And I think people think that they're going to get their money back. That's why they call us all the time. That's why they call you.
Yeah.
But we know that's not always the case.
That's right. That's right. And that's just really unfortunate. It reminds me it's probably a lower level of that, but I've gotten texts in where they say, hey, how you doing? We're still on for lunch today. I feel they just want to hook you with something. You know, oh no, sometimes I should do what you do and respond and be like, hey, you got the wrong person and see what happens. I don't know, but they're so smart. And they do know that someone is good natured and they're going to send that money back. And that's a way to get your trust. Oh, I'm sorry. I just sold you the wrong amount or to the wrong account. Yeah. Sneaky. You've given us so much that it's just great advice. Anything else that you think that we need to know, like that, freezing your credit, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Anything else that?
You know, I think it's just locking down your sensibilities, locking down, looking at what you share on social media, never your home address, when you're taking selfies, when you're taking pictures of your kids on the first day of school and they're holding up the little sign with their names, their teachers' names, their school and what grade they are in. Yeah. Do not do that. Yeah. It's cute, but it's giving scammers so much information about that child and about where you live.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that it's our fault, but we do give scammers so much to work with.
Yeah.
So I think if we just need to be smarter. We need to take a beat. In 2026, let this be the time that we fight back against these scammers. Don't let them win. And the only way to do that is if we tighten up ourselves and our information.
So what do we do for 2026 with these new scams that are emerging? We are to tighten up our social media a little bit, hold back. And then we've got these, what are the scams that you think that we, just to finalize everything, that we need to really watch out for?
I think, honestly, the scams are what we've been seeing. They're just going to get better and they're going to get smarter and they're going to get savvier. And it's going to really be hard for us to differentiate between, is this real or is this fake? AI is going to play a major role. It already is.
Yes.
It's just going to be playing a bigger role in this, and it's going to get more refined, and the scammers are going to figure this out. And so that's because of that, our only way to win is to be smarter, is to share this type of information. What we're talking about today, Michelle, is if whoever is listening to this and watching this is to share this episode, to share this with their loved ones, to talk about this, to come up with a family code word, right? It's there. The scams are going to be there. They're going to get better, but we need to get better too.
That's right. Thank you so much. One more very important question.
Okay.
Do you have a New Year's resolution?
Oh my goodness. Well, my resolution is to continue to doing things like this, right? My social media is where I know where a lot of people are. My reach is great and it's growing.
Yes.
So my goal is to, when you think of who is the consumer reporter in this country to watch and to follow, it's me, is to make sure that I become that go-to person, because there's a lot of misinformation out there on social media. People who are claiming to be smart and giving information and whether it's consumer, financial, what have you. So my goal is to make sure that, I give the information that is clear, that is smart, and that helps people, and just continue doing what I'm doing, but at a harder reach.
That's right. Yeah. And where can we find you, Susan?
You can find me everywhere, which is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook at Susan Hogan TV.
Thank you so much for your story, your dedication, everything that you do. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, Michelle.
As scams evolve in 2026, staying informed is your best defense. Look out for one another. Share this episode with your friends, your family, your coworkers, because just one conversation can help someone avoid becoming a victim. Until next time. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform and keep an eye out for upcoming episodes where we'll continue to bring you important updates and insights on consumer protection. Have a topic in mind for a future episode or a question for our team? Drop us an email at consumerconnection@montgomerycountymd.gov. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family, and stay in the loop with OCP by searching the hashtag MCGOCP on social media. Remember, knowledge is key for safeguarding your consumer rights. Stay informed, stay protected, and stay connected. Until next time.
This podcast is brought to you by County Cable Montgomery, your source for news and information from the Montgomery County government. Connect with us via cable, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube by searching for County Cable MoCo.